How we doing, everybody? Hope we're good, and welcome to the live launch of First Time Buyer Expert. Are we good on sound over there? Everything coming through on YouTube? So go to videos, click live, refresh the page, should be there. There we go, click on that. Yes, we are definitely live, guys, so we're going to have about 5 minutes or so, just get a few things set up. There's some links that you're going to need. Going to go through obviously a presentation, and just got to check we are live on Facebook as well as a page, a group. Here we go. We've got a few comments coming through, so all good there. Sign into chat. Okay, let's just quickly do that. Okay, the A-level biologist, evening to you. Mill Wolf and 06, hello there. Right, we are signed into chat. Excellent stuff, so we are good there. Right, let's get this link sorted just in case we're gonna need that. There we go. So videos, go into the live here. Okay, pop this on the comments. Oh, there's no comments as yet, that's fine. Maybe we put them. Hi Alex. Alex Empson, I saw you earlier, emailed you earlier. Excellent. Right, so I've put a link in the comments section as well. We might need to put that in there a few times, as the comments area doesn't seem to be where it normally is on the usual feed. And you can hear us fine. Thanks for that. Brilliant. Right, so let's get cracking. Facebook, are we okay on Facebook?
Not on one page.
Okay, but on the main other page we're live. Brilliant. So we are live on Facebook and YouTube. Fantastic. We've got the link, so let's get cracking. First of all, let me open up my slides. Here we go. Start from the beginning, change that over there. So can we all see First Time Buyer Expert on the YouTube? Just keep it on YouTube there. There we go. Yes, excellent. Okay, so who is First Time Buyer Expert for? That is what we're going to look at first. So your profile for this initial first version of First Time Buyer Expert, you'll be employed. Okay, so a basic salary plus commission is fine, bonus is fine. Maybe you're a NHS worker that gets bank employment income as well, that's all fine. Any type of employed income, then this course is initially geared up for yourselves, not for the self-employed or contractors or 0 hours workers. However, the software does allow for all that we have within the course. So although if you're self-employed you'd need other documents when compared to an employed person, you can still get the course if you like, and we do have a Facebook support group where you can ask questions there. So I'd advise initially it's for employed people, but as we go we will be bringing out further content that will reflect for self-employed and contractors and 0 hours workers. However, initially it's for employed. So you're aged between 18 to 45. Got the mortgage term in brackets there. Basically, when you go beyond the age of 45, the maximum mortgage term you can have reduces furthermore, and therefore is not always affordable. So the ideal sort of first time buyer for this course is aged between 18 to 45. 18 because that's when you can first obtain a mortgage. You have a good credit history. Okay, so what we mean by a good credit history, if you've got defaults, county court judgments, things like that, it's not aimed for you at the moment. That's much more complex. Obviously, the profile that the course is aimed for is to achieve mortgage success, and I have got minor adverse credit is okay. So if you've got like a missed payment from 3 years ago to a credit card or a utility bill provider, just one missed payment in the last 2-3 years, something like that, most high street lenders are going to be okay with that. Okay, you've got a laptop or PC. So you can stream it from your phone, this course. You can, go through it on your phone. However, there are screen records when you go through, for example, the software we have provide that taps into all the mortgage lenders' websites and does a affordability calculation for you. You really need to see that on a screen and not on your phone. And you do need to log into that software on your PC or laptop. So I put this course does not guarantee mortgage success. Okay, so what I mean by that is there's many hurdles out of our control when you're buying your property for the first time. However, we're here to help you overcome them. And we've laid out a step-by-step process, which we'll come on to in more detail, which should lead you to mortgage success. However, there are many hurdles that you need to overcome along the way and many potential pitfalls, such as buying the property. If the lender doesn't like the property you're buying, that's out of your and my control. However, we are here to help you overcome that problem. And lifetime access. So you can buy now and prepare for 1 year's time if you like, or if you bought the course now and then you changed your mind, your circumstances changed, it's going to be, all the content will be relevant in 1 year's time, in 2 years, 5 years time, because we will update the course content as weekly and as the market changes as well. Okay, so an overview. 40% is the success rate of going direct to a mortgage lender. So mortgage lenders tell us that first-time buyers that go direct to mortgage lenders, only 40% are successful in obtaining a mortgage at the end of it. And that's usually because they've chosen the wrong lender, or they're buying a different property type that the mortgage lender doesn't accept, or the criteria for that lender does not reflect the individual circumstances. So there's 3 problem areas that I see as a first-time buyer, and we're going to look at those. So number 1 is documents. Okay, so the majority of credit files have some type of error on them, whether it's the wrong address or whether you have your address and your bank statement sent to your parents' address, for example, which causes problems, or you may have some missed payments that you were unaware of. And by obtaining your credit file, you're able to look at those problems and address them, and that's part of this course. Document errors. So when you apply for a mortgage, the mortgage lender is going to want specific documents such as ID, address verification, bank statements, proof of income. A lot of the time, you've either not got the correct documents or the way they are presented are incorrect. Maybe your name's spelt differently or incorrectly on your payslip. Maybe an address is wrong somewhere. All these situations causes problems during a mortgage. Number 2, mortgage lenders. How much can I borrow? So that is one of the most common questions. How much can I borrow? Okay, the best deals. Who has the best mortgage deals on the market? If you go direct to your own bank and then sign up with them, they could have potentially the worst deal on the market, and that would cost you thousands of pounds by choosing a lender who may have a higher rate. That means your monthly payments are, say, £1,000 more over the course of a year, which over 5 years is £5,000, and that could have, paid off £5,000 of your mortgage balance. Number 3, the mortgage and solicitor process. So it's very difficult to understand the whole mortgage and solicitor process step by step, what's going on, what you need to do, how you need to prepare, what your expectations are. Quite often solicitors are very poor at communicating throughout the process, so what do you do in these sort of situations? And the course is designed to overcome all of these areas, which we'll look at shortly. And that is through the 3 pillars of mortgage success. So let's have a look at those. Pillar 1, prepare. Pillar 2, apply. And pillar 3, success. So let's have a look at that in a little bit more detail. So looking from left to right, you can see from the bottom we've got prepare, apply, success. So as you go from left to right, it starts you from the start of the course and takes you to the end. Documents at the start. So this is where we're going to look at what documents you can and can't use for proof of ID, address, all of that sort of stuff. Deposit, proof of deposit, which is a big one. You may be getting a gifted deposit. You need the right templates, the right wording that the lender needs. The credit score as well. So part of the course is looking at your credit files on Equifax, Experian and TransUnion, who are the 3 credit agencies that the mortgage lenders will look at when, assessing your credit. And mortgage lenders may use any one of those 3. So it's really important to know what is going on across all 3 of those credit agencies. We move along the process. Affordability. So we're still in the prepare area. Affordability is a massive one. How much can you borrow? Well, the software, we provide you with 1 month's free access to some software, and that will tap into over 65, 70 mortgage lenders within a minute and give you your affordability figures with every single mortgage lender that is within the panel. So that's 65 to 70, includes all the high street lenders, plenty of building societies, basically all of the prime lenders with the best rates. As you move across, we've got portals. So all the property portals, for example, offers, placing an offer with the estate agent, how to do that, how to negotiate. We've got the portals, the best rates. So once you've done your affordability calculation, you click another button, which is called sourcing, and that will give you all of the best mortgage deals on the market at that time. Therefore, you know which mortgage lenders to approach, and you can save your favourites. So when you go back, the mortgage deals and lenders are still there. As we go across, apply. So this section is all about applying, how to apply for the mortgage lender. We go through a fact find process, all the information that they will require, a budget planner, which is on a PDF, where you can handwrite it and print it or do it digitally. It's completely up to you. So that helps you with the mortgage and solicitor process, when to instruct solicitors. There's portals for doing all the quotes as well. A common error is instructing a solicitor who is not on the portal, who is not on the panel of the mortgage lender that you have chosen. And then the last bit at the end, the process, that's where we get success. So the whole mortgage and solicitor process, step by step, we go through what to expect from the beginning, once you've instructed solicitors, what each section is. For example, what is a certificate of title, which a mortgage lender applies for at the end, what happens when you exchange contracts, what happens when you're provided a draft contract along the way. Everything is covered off there. And then at the end of the process, you should have your keys in your hands. So, launch pre-sale. So the first 100 to take us up on this offer will get a 50% discount. So it's normally £165, and we are selling the course for £82.50 for the early adopters, and we will stop when we get to 100, just so we can see how everything's going, the software, everything like that, before we then open the doors to more. And you will get, of course, live Q&A as well on a weekly basis. That comes through. The link to purchase the course for 50% off is in the comments. I'll put that in there again, so you should be able to dig that out as well. And So we've got over 50 lessons in the course, and that's growing weekly. So we will continually add to the course, and that will be accessible to everyone who is a first-time buyer expert member. You've got all the free downloads, so a document checklist that you can print out or do it digitally, tick off as you successfully obtain each of your documents. There's gifted deposit templates with all the right wording that the mortgage lenders will need if you are receiving a gifted deposit. A budget planner, which we go through, which is not only for the mortgage lender, but allows you to see, what everything costs, how to get the applicable council tax banding for the property you're buying, all that sort of thing, all taken into account, and what you have left at the end of the month when all expenses have come out. So it's, all well and good that the mortgage lender will lend you this amount. However, are you comfortable with what surplus income you have at the end of the month? And there's plenty more there. MBT, Mortgage Broker Tools. So you've got 1 month's access to Mortgage Broker Tools, which does 3 things. Affordability, where it will tap into the 65, 70 lenders, give you affordability. You can print it out on a PDF document. It has it all there. Press another button. It gives you all of the best deals and the amount you can borrow next to each lender. Again, all on one document that you can save as a PDF, and a criteria search. So for example, if you want to check all of the mortgage lender's criteria in one go, you may type in employment start date. So for example, some lenders are happy if you've just been with your current employer for 1 month, others might want 6 months. You type in one search term and it will bring all the mortgage lenders up and show you their criteria. So when you're looking to find the right mortgage lender, it's very easy. We've got discounts, £250 cashback on completion when you join Even. So if you use Even, which is a brand new company, fantastic company, we've teamed up with them. And if you use them as an equity loan to top up your deposit, you will get £250 cashback on completion. And this is just accessible via this course only. Perks, so we are now going to design Remortgage Expert as a course, Shared Ownership Expert, and New Build Secrets. So all the early adopters will receive all of those courses, which will come into your membership, all at no extra cost. And that will be handy, for example, Remortgage Expert. So when you do come to remortgage in the future, everything's there. You can check all the best deals, how much you can borrow, and all the processes and things you will need to go through that. The same with Shared Ownership and New Build. Facebook group. So that's where we will do the virtual mentorship. You will have access to a members only Facebook group, and that is designed to ask any questions at any time throughout the process, whether it's early on or whether it's during your house buying process. You may come up with some type of problem, jump on the Facebook group, post your issue there, and we'll either jump on a Teams or we'll do it over the phone and place it back onto the Facebook group so other people can learn as well. It's designed to be a family where we all help each other overcome any issues which will arise in a very complex process of buying your first home. Lifetime access, so it's always relevant to the current housing and mortgage market, and you will always have access to these courses and all future content moving forwards. Okay, a little bit about me. So I've been a mortgage broker since 2003. I qualified in 2005 with the CMAP qualification, Certificate in Mortgage Advice and Practice. You didn't need it until 2005. I was employed for 5 years as a mortgage broker, and I've been self-employed since 2008. I did have a break during the recession because mortgage lenders unfortunately stopped lending in the last recession in 2008. That took me from 2013 to 2017. I've submitted thousands of mortgages. I've experienced every possible problem you may face. And I started specialising in first-time buyers from 2018. So why first-time buyer expert? So we literally launched it today. Okay, we've had a few purchases. See someone join the Facebook group, the first one of the group, literally, which is fantastic. So I've got a few others there to get authorized who've requested some access there, which I'll certainly come round to. So there's no help for first time buyers out there. Okay, first time buyers are my favorite client type. It is the most fulfilling feeling when a first time buyer picks up their keys after going through the whole difficult process, and first time buyers are most grateful. That is why I love working with first time buyers and why I decided to specialize in that area when I went self-employed and set up my YouTube channel, which set up a couple of years ago and currently almost at 17,000 subscribers. So thank you so much for everyone supporting me on the channel. So here is the first time buyer expert group. So you will get access to that private community. So as obviously the memberships go, that will start filling up, and literally there's just a few of you in there now at the moment, so you're going to get all my time. And obviously as that starts filling up, hopefully get more questions, any problems, any questions at all, this is where you will go and we will overcome any hurdles together. So pricing, okay, so there's plenty of value within the first time buyer expert, thousands of pounds worth when you put it all together, and to have, you know, the support of the Facebook group with qualified mortgage brokers. And we are selling it today for £82.50. Okay, and the first 100 to join will get 50% off. Okay. So there's never been a better time to be a first time buyer expert. We've got inflation rising, affordability changing. Obviously the Bank of England has just brought updates out today, which again affects the way mortgage lenders calculate how much you can borrow. So our affordability tool will take that all into account, because it taps into every single lender's affordability tool, and our customer services will certainly look after you throughout the whole process. That is what we are really sort of geared up for, is supporting you every single part of the journey and providing an affordability option there and an alternative option, because there's plenty of you that want sort of access to mortgage brokers without using a mortgage broker and paying those sort of fees. Okay, so that is first time buyer expert. Hope everything makes sense there. I'll just go to any questions that anyone's got. Let's sign into the chat here. Okay, so Nazira, hi, my partner Nicolo bought the package this morning. Sounds fantastic. Thank you very much for that. Excellent stuff. I did see that come through. I was thinking to contact you. Your videos have given me great hope. Brilliant stuff there. So I'll put the link there. If anyone does want that 50% discount, okay, it's in the comments now of the live stream, and obviously the first 100 will get that 50% discount, £82.50 there. Does anyone have any questions at all? Let me just open the Facebook group as well. Just on Facebook there. There we go. Okay, so got a question coming in here. Okay. Alex, I'm over 50. Shall I give up? Okay. So you could get a mortgage for 19 years. And if you, Bassiano, if you do have, if you pay towards a pension, so if you have pension contributions on your pay slips, then you could potentially get a mortgage to age 74 and therefore have a 24-year term. So I put an age limit of 45 because I knew that would be comfortable. I still think age 50 is possible. So we could get a 19-year term there. So yeah, look, I would say that's probably the right on the limit there, but you should be able to achieve some success there. So if you want to go ahead, then absolutely. Okay, so what's the MBT 1 month access? I could not understand completely. Okay, so with Mortgage Broker Tools, you type in your name, your income, a bit about your employment, any credit commitments you've got, credit card payments, that sort of thing, and then you press the calculation button, and within 60 seconds you will get a screen which provides the information of all of the high street lenders, 65 to 70 mortgage lenders, the figures they will lend you as a mortgage. So some lenders may lend around 4.5 times your income. Some lenders may lend 5, some others more. It will give you, starting with a lender that lends you the most at the start, from the top, working all the way down, it will say what lender it is. So Halifax, Barclays, NatWest, Nationwide. This is how much they'll lend you. Some lenders will lend you more if you choose a 5-year fixed rate. For example, Nationwide have a helping hand mortgage, and therefore it will show Nationwide, it will show 2 figures. It will show what they'll lend you normally and what they will lend you on their 5-year or more products. Any other lenders that lend more, it will show that as a second figure. It will also give you access to show the whole working out with that individual lender. So you can open the individual calculations. So that is the affordability tool, really. It's just a very quick way of understanding everyone, how much they will lend you straight away, rather than individually going into all 70 mortgage lenders and clicking their affordability calculators. It takes it all into one. And then you then press another button, it gives you all of their rates next to how much they'll lend you. So it's really easy. At the same time, you're going to save thousands of pounds by knowing who has the best mortgage deals for your circumstances. Okay, so I hope that sort of clarifies that for you. Alex, really grateful for everything I've learned. Thank you very much. If I'm working full time and registered as a sole trader, doing side hustle next to my main job, how do I put that down in the mortgage application? That's where it's a little bit complicated, you see. That's why we've aimed it for employed only. It's a very complex situation, quite difficult to answer just in one sort of sentence, because the criteria of mortgage lenders is going to differ so much. We will be bringing courses out later on down the line, probably in 2 or 3 months' time, which will cater for your situation. But just as a general question, if you were using our tool, or if you were applying direct to the lender, if you were using our tool, you'd just put it in the self-employed bit and it would work it out alongside your employed income. If you're applying direct to a lender, then they would ask you for it, and then subject to their criteria, they may take it into account, they may not, but you would certainly need a specialist mortgage lender for that. How much more difficult is it to obtain a short-term mortgage than a long-term? If you have a huge deposit, are you not as attractive to lenders? It's all within the affordability. If the mortgage lender states that you can afford the mortgage, then it's not going to be more difficult. Obviously, the more complications within your situation, then the more difficult it is. I would say to that. But a shorter term mortgage means a higher monthly payment. So as long as it's within affordability, then everything's good. Amar, got an offer accepted and submitted my mortgage app. Estate agents have put the listing back on the market. Any way to speed up the survey? Yeah, I mean, there's a few ways. I would need quite a lot of time with you on that one. Obviously, if you're in the group, we could do that. But to try and answer that quickly, I would just phone the surveyors up, find out who they are. You know, this is me, the advice I'd give to you, and what I do myself. Phone them up, see who they are, try and get a quicker booking. That is certainly what I would do, or ask the mortgage lender if they can force. It's called forcing the valuation. They may ask for, they may confirm that your application fee would be non-refundable if you force the valuation, but there are many different ways. There's a couple. Do we get access for the lifetime for MBT as well? Okay, so Mortgage Broker Tools is you get 1 month's access. Okay, so that's what you do all your affordability calculations with and everything like that. We have teamed up with them. I mean, this sort of software is only available to mortgage brokers, and they've, you know, very grateful that they've allowed us to supply this to you. The second month, in case you do need to use it, you get 50% off at £14.99, and then from, if you need to use it again, which would be unlikely, but in the future it would be £29.99 for a month's access. But it saves you thousands of pounds for starters in knowing who's got the best deal. Excuse me, and obviously gives you access to, you know, your affordability all the time. It live updates with that, so if any lenders change, it will give you the accurate figure. I think I said that right. Okay, so I hope that helps in regards to that. And if you are a member and you have used your month up and you don't want to buy a second month, then we'll just jump on a Teams meeting and use my software, and we can do that for you for free. So that option is there. Obviously, moving forwards, we will be working on a solution where we can design this sort of software. You know, it's early days at the moment. This is the version 1. Obviously, later on down the line, you know, it's going to be more expensive when, you know, we get the software and things like that. So the overall package, I think £82.50 is amazing value. Does using MBT show up on your credit file? No, not at all. This is no credit checks, nothing. It's just calculations based on your situation and showing you the best deals, that sort of thing. Nothing to do with credit file. What should I be looking for when trying to find a suitable solicitor? Make sure they're on the mortgage lenders panel. You know, we've got a portal in the course you could use, and it would give you the best sort of solicitors for first time buyers, but make sure they're on the mortgage lenders panel, and check reviews online. They're my 2 tips there. Are lenders less likely to lend to a first time buyer looking for a small 1-bedroom flat with only 2 years mortgage borrowing, 10 to 15,000? I would say they're quite likely to lend because it's, you know, small in mortgage terms. However, some lenders do have minimum mortgage amounts that you've got to take, like 25,000, 50,000. So in that instance, it might be a bit tricky. Just have a look what their minimum lending amount is. What is the minimum number of credit history years required for the mortgage eligibility? What is the minimum number of years of credit history? So your credit history is a record of 6 years, but you don't need 6 years to get a mortgage. Some lenders will lend if you've been in the UK for 2 years, for example. So I'd say 2 years. Hi Alex, thinking to buy your credit check repair service and buy a property. I've been very careless with my finance and thinking I can never afford. Absolutely. Again, this is, you know, the service we've got there was sort of testing the water. We will be developing that as a proper online course as well. You know, but for now, we'd love to help you with your situation there moving forwards. Thanks for your answer. Newest affordability criteria that came into effect from today. What difference will these actually make in the process, since the lenders own AC2 that apply, right? So what difference will these actually make? Okay, so before, a mortgage lender would apply a stress test. So you need to afford the mortgage payment plus if rates went up by 3%. So whatever that mortgage payment was, it still needs to be within your surplus income, your affordability. So they've scrapped that now. So therefore that will mean you don't need to be able to afford the extra 3% rate on top of the rate that you're obtaining, so it's going to mean you can borrow more. However, that is offset a little bit by lenders a month or so ago increasing or decreasing the amount you could borrow because the cost of living increased. So before, we used to be able to say 4.5 times income pretty much. Now I'm not sure what that figure would be, and there's more reason why you should be using affordability calculators there. Okay, so does paying into your pension mean you can borrow more? Not borrow more, no, but potentially have an extra 5 years on your term. It actually means you can borrow less, because they will deduct any monthly payments to your pensions as a expense. Okay, my partner has been self-employed but starting full-time in August. Is it possible we could get a mortgage without 3 months pay slips? Our landlord is selling, so we're under time pressure. But starting full-time employment in August. Again, this is the... Okay, message retracted. No, I'll wait for that to come back then, if you didn't want me to look at that now. What do you predict the monthly payment would be for 15,000? I have no idea. I could not do that off the top of my head. Based on that information, I don't know your credit score, your credit file. That would determine things, the type of property you're buying. Unfortunately, I cannot predict that one. And if I was to give a monthly payment, even if I knew for compliance reasons, I'd need to give you a lot of other information, such as annual percentage rates and things like that. So I can't give that sort of advice just in this sort of scenario. Okay, so that is all of the questions there. I'm just going to check any Facebook ones here. Okay. There we go. Let me just double check any other questions that I've missed at all. Just go through there. And so, yeah, guys, this launch of the course is a soft launch. And once we've got a few of you through, made sure that you've got no issues, or if there is, we get them sorted. Probably a month's time, we will be ramping the marketing up and moving that forwards, and the price will be £165 from that point. So £82.50 for anyone looking to purchase the course now for the first 100, and that is lifetime access. I think that's all of the questions. I don't know, Holly, if you had another one. You did retract your initial one, which I can answer if you like, but I'll leave that to you. Let me just double check one more thing here. Okay, so we have got a few more orders coming in now. All right, so they will probably be taken up over the next few days or so, or certainly when we increase the marketing. Okay, guys, any more questions? Here we go, because we'll just start wrapping it up. Is it unlikely to be accepted for a mortgage if you have no credit history to show and have never borrowed in your whole life? Okay, so it is possible getting a mortgage with no credit history. Again, there is a section in the course which would help you here, because it would explain that credit history, it's not necessarily what your credit score is. Mortgage lenders don't look at the numbers at all. So when you're looking at Experian, whether it says 999 or 599, it makes no difference. They're looking at your payment history. So if you've got no credit history, then I would suggest maybe getting a mobile phone contract, making sure that your addresses are up to date. And that could potentially mean that you would pass the credit score just with a mobile phone contract. Sorry, retracted comment by accident. We hadn't been able to get a mortgage before. His partner was self-employed, but he's starting a full job soon. Okay, so again, this is why this mortgage broker tool software is so handy for me in my job. I just would type in your partner's details, when he started his employment, press the button, and it would tell me if the mortgage lenders will lend or not. It's sort of that simple. But yes, there are mortgage lenders who will lend even if you're transitioning from self-employed to employed, after potentially one day in the new job, and even if he's on probation, he or she is on probation. So yes, there are mortgage lenders. My ideal scenario, and the one that we recommend in the course as well, is 12 months employment history. That's the sort of perfect scenario, if you like. But if you're prepared to take the risk, obviously the more complications there are, the sort of if you are looking just off 1 month's employment history, for example, then as long as you understand that the amount of lenders available to you will be less, and there's a higher risk of not obtaining mortgage success at the end of it. So I hope that's helped. I hope that helps you there, Holly. Will we have to wait 3 months? So you don't have to wait 3 months. There are other lenders. 3 months is a sort of good starting point. Other lenders do want 6 to 12 months continuous employment history in employment in the same line of work. So it's a tricky one. Would love to help you more on that. There are mortgage lenders that will do it, and that would need a bit of research and a bit of one-to-one there. So yeah, would love to help you on that further. But yes, there are options for you. Can I get a mortgage with credit score of 645 on Check My File? So as I mentioned, it's not always about the credit score. It's your credit history. You've obviously got a good salary there, so that's a good start. If you've got any mispayments, defaults, things like that, you're likely going to need to put 15% down as a deposit. So that's just a rough template for you there. But if you've got okay credit and it's just a lack of credit history that's keeping your score low, then some high street lenders could come into play. What does bonus from a Help to Buy ISA go towards? Does it go towards the deposit, or does it just lessen how much you need to borrow? Yeah, so Help to Buy ISA, so it's a little bit different compared to the lifetime ISA, because your solicitor needs to apply for your Help to Buy ISA bonus at the end. So you don't get it when you exchange contracts. So you need to have your deposit available before you've got access to that. So I would say it just goes towards, maybe coming off of your solicitor bill. So you're going to need your own deposit there. So don't rely on the Help to Buy ISA bonus, if that's what you're referring to go towards it. If it's just you mean your Help to Buy ISA in general, not the bonus, then yes, that does go. Oh, hang on a minute. What does the bonus? You did say the bonus. Yeah, great. Okay, next one. Do I wait for a whole 12 months reaching before I start a mortgage application? Watching your videos. So yeah, I say 12 months is the ideal scenario. That's what I would advise. Then that gives you access to the majority of the mortgage lenders and means that you're less risk to them and they're more likely to lend. But you can try with 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. It just means the amount of lenders available to you will be lessened and the chances of mortgage success will be reduced. So it's up to you if you want to take that earlier. You might be okay. It all depends. Like I say, the stronger you can, the better light you can put yourself in, the better of chance you're going to have. Would I be able to send you our credit reports to have a look at, as we don't have them available? Of course you can. Send them over. You know where to send them. Yeah, of course, I'd love to look at them for you, Alex. Katie, yep, thank you. No problem at all, Katie. Nazira, is that the same case with a lifetime ISA bonus? Okay, so the lifetime ISA bonus is different to the Help to Buy Help to Buy ISA bonus, because it depends who the provider is. So some lifetime ISA providers will pay the bonus automatically. Others, you need to claim it, but generally speaking, you'll get hold of the ISA bonus before you need to provide your deposit to the solicitor, or technically you can, as long as you've had it for 12 months, of course, which is the minimum requirement. So I hope that answers that one for you. All right, I think we've got a couple on Facebook here. Okay. Got a few people asking to join the Facebook group. I've just purchased the course, so let me just go and let you guys in here. There we go. Approve and approve. There we go. Okay, so I'm with Moneybox. I think they pay automatically. Yes, they do. Is paying monthly payments for car insurance on a direct debit to multiple insurance companies enough to be classed as credit history? Technically it is finance, because that's what they do with car insurance. It's technically a finance agreement paid over, and you pay it back monthly, unless you pay it up front, of course. But no, it doesn't. Doesn't carry enough weight to go onto your credit history as a sort of form of history of payments. Okay, so I am in full-time employment in my current job for 9 years, 70k a year, but low credit score of 645. Until I watched your videos, I didn't think I could get a mortgage, but this gives me hope. Absolutely. That's a fantastic employment history, so that's going to be a strong part of your mortgage application. You know, good salary there as well, so that's probably just down to the deposit and finding a lender that would look at it. Again, if you've got adverse credit, the general thought is that you're going to need a sort of, or the general sort of entry bar is a 15% deposit. Could be a little bit better, could be a bit worse, but that's generally where you're going to be around. Alrighty, so I'm going to start wrapping this up, another 5 minutes or so. So if anyone's got any questions, please just let me know. Just checking the other groups here. Okay, slightly off topic. Way home scheme that does not require a mortgage at all, but cannot use the stamp duty exemption as a first-time buyer. Have you come across that? Afraid I have not come across that at all. All I do really is just first-time buyer mortgages. That's it. I never go outside of that, because this is what I specialize in, help first-time buyers, using mortgage lenders for residential mortgages. So unfortunately, that is not my area of expertise. I've not even heard of that, I'm afraid. Alrighty. So I think that's most of the questions covered so far. Just gonna double check there. Few more members there. Can't wait to start answering your questions in the Facebook group and help you through there. Got a few more come in here. Should be exciting. Buying your first properties, guys. Obviously not easy out there, especially with the different market. You're in a buyer's market or a seller's market. Obviously the market at the moment's a seller's market, because there's not a lot of supply to meet the demand, unfortunately, and that is why we're in a seller's market at the moment. So I got my question. Thank you for answering. No problem at all. I got my question. Dama, have I missed a question? If I have, please just copy and paste it again, or say it again, and I'll get it answered. Dama, if you can see me, hear me. Is it worth buying for new build or old houses? Ooh, new build versus resale. So there's no real right or wrong for that. It just all depends on your own personal preferences. You know, do you want the character of a resale property, an older property? New builds have pros and cons. I would say some of the more modern new builds, they're much better for energy efficiency. You're going to probably have, higher speed broadband, things like that. In some of the smaller developments, you can get some really nice custom made properties with, not custom made, custom appliances, with good quality appliances. Then, other new build properties are put together. They're really larger developments, so you're next to each other, a lot of concrete. Not views might not be as good, but you're gonna obviously pay a less premium for that. So there's pros and cons to that one. Okay, so can you use the bonus from the Help to Buy ISA to pay solicitors' fees? Yes, yep, absolutely. The Help to Buy ISA comes towards the end of the process. The solicitor will obtain that for you, and you'll get the final bill from the solicitor towards the end of the process, and that bonus can come off of that bill. Will lenders make an exception on lending to someone with no credit history if their deposit is huge? Yeah, I would probably say yes. 80 to 90% of the property value. Yeah, I would say yes. Will they make an exemption with no credit? Yeah, okay. Do you have to buy the house where you work, or we have the freedom of buying anywhere in the UK? Oh yeah, oh right, yeah, okay. So Dama, it has got a little bit easier. Obviously, if you worked in Scotland and you lived in London, the lender would ask how you're going to make that commute. But if you are working from home, then that wouldn't be a problem. But long sort of distances between work and home will be questioned, unless there's a direct train link or something like that. Okay. What happens to any left over money from the bonus? Yeah, from bonuses, it can either go towards you paying your solicitor. That's where it would go. Anything left over, which it would go to yourself. But it's unlikely that there'd be anything left over because of the solicitor's fees and everything like that. That's what it contributes towards. I'm over 50 years, got a chance for a mortgage as a first time buyer. Over 50 years, I'd say 50 years is probably the maximum. I mean, it depends on a lot of things. If your income's high, then you could have a short mortgage term. Very difficult one to answer without more information. But if you're around 50 and you're employed, then you could get a 19-year mortgage, which, should be affordable. When you bought your new build, did you get a snagging survey done? No, I didn't get a snagging survey done. Obviously, I saw the property being built from when it was, the ground upwards, which was helpful. But the snagging was done. They came after 6 months and sorted everything out. So that was really good. But no, didn't get a snagging survey done before, but I did a lot of research on the developers. They've been around years, really good reviews, and the properties they were putting together we thought were really, really good. Apologies for silly question. Is Help to Buy applicable for all types of houses? No, just new builds. But if you use even equity loan, then you can buy resales with an even equity loan. You can buy resale properties. Okay. Is it true lenders dislike giving mortgages to properties like high rise? Yes, it's much harder to get So if you're buying a high-rise flat, most lenders might consider up to, say, the 4th floor. But when you get 5th floor, 6th floor, especially above the 10th floor, it's almost impossible, or the deposit needs to be a lot bigger. Plus, on an individual basis, a lot of those apartments within the high-rise will need to be privately owned, so by at least, say, 50%. That's quite a common rule. So if over 50% of them are still owned by the council, it's also hard to get a mortgage on them. So yes, it is more difficult, because obviously the higher you go, the more risks you have within that property, safety, things like that. So they like to lend on the lower ones. I was able to save for a mortgage, 5% deposit. Should I get a 95% loan mortgage or wait for a 10% deposit? If you can get to 10%, then that would give you access to better rates, open up the doors for more lenders potentially. You might not pass all of the credit scores with a 5% deposit. So if you can get to that in a short amount of time, it might be very worthwhile considering. The only other thing in the back of my mind is when you wait, what's going to happen to rates? Are rates going to go up? Sort of counterintuitive in theory. Or will something else happen to the housing market, which means you can't get a mortgage at all? So that's the thoughts process I'd be having. It's a difficult one. I always say if you've got an opportunity to get onto the market, onto the ladder, then take it. You can always overpay the mortgage after. But yeah, it is. If you can get to 10% deposit quite quickly, then I'd probably be favouring that. But it is a hard choice to make. Okay. Okay, so what have we got? Just checking all of the other groups here as well. Okay, so it's 4 minutes to 8. We'll be sort of wrapping up at 8 o'clock. Okay, just to let you know. So please get your questions in before 8 o'clock. Just got someone else to sort out here. There we go. Okay, so it looks like we've got all the questions answered so far. If I've missed any, just let me know. Are we looking okay over there with questions? Yep. Good stuff. So let's have a little, last little chat, last little opportunity here before they go. Just put that link there, 50% link. Would love to help any of you out. You're gonna get that money back straight away just by using the best deals sort of tool. A lot of times I see first time buyers just go direct to their bank and speak to them. Everything looks affordable, but in theory they're getting a deal which is a lot worse. And over 2, 3, 5 years that can equate to thousands of pounds. Plus, how much you can borrow. Another common mistake is just looking at properties, putting offers in without knowing what your affordability is. So, if you prepare, that is the key thing. Preparation is key to mortgage success. And yeah, I would love to help you out after there. Yeah, so will this stream be available after it's finished? Yes, absolutely. So the stream will be available after we finish there with all the links and everything. And the idea is that for the month of August we're going to keep this deal open, and probably from September onwards hopefully we've got to the 100 mark by the end of the month, and then we'll close that deal down and increase the marketing. At the moment we've just done some soft marketing as it's a soft launch, because we don't want to have some type of issue somewhere, and to replicate it, to fix it for a few people is much easier than 1,000 people for example. So soft launch, obviously discount for everyone, for the early adopters for taking on version 1. It's all been tested thoroughly. there's over 50 lessons. Everything's working nice, so yeah, we should be good. Alex, yet another Alexa for first time buyers. Thanks so much for the valuable. No problem at all. If you have a mortgage higher than needed, can you still use the remainder for repairs? Not really. I think you mean have extra borrowing there. It depends what you mean, but no, I don't think so. If you're buying a property, you're putting 10% down, and the lender will lend you more than 90%. You can't, in theory, have the extra. You could borrow more and just hold back some of your deposit to keep back for repairs, but then the rate may not be as good. Excellent. Thanks so much for answering questions. No problem at all, guys. So just going to start wrapping up. I think I've just had one more notification come through. Let me just double check that one there. Okay. Great. Okay, so last chance for any questions. Gonna close this down. Thank you very much for anyone who's purchased the course so far. Really look forward to helping you through your journey when you start, buying your first property. And anytime you come over with some type of problem or hurdle you need to overcome, the group is there for you. And I will see you guys very soon. We will be doing more launches, and might be spamming the channel a bit with this course, so apologies for that. But I will see you guys soon, and thank you very much for joining. Going to start ending this stream now.